We are live from Last Out Media Studios in Feasterville/Trevose. This is Combat Misfits. Welcome in today. We're on the heels of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury last night. It was a crazy pay-per-view. Probably the biggest heavyweight fight in over a decade. I in my opinion, I believe it stood up to what it was expected to be. It went the long fight pattern that I wanted, you know?
Yeah. It was a really good fight, man. This shit was back and forth, man. If that didn't have you out of your seat, man, are you really a fight fan? Man, you had to be excited to see that fight.
So I'm live today with my co-host, Chris Thedick.
What's going on, guys?
How are you doing this morning?
What's going on?
And the producer, Taylor. What's going on, sir?
I was up late watching that fight also.
It was I think even like if you're not like a normal fight fan, you were tuning in and watching that pay-per-view, man. And if you didn't, unfortunately, you missed a great fight, man.
Yeah, man. So it comes into our thing, man. If you're a fighter yourself, or you like to fight, or you're casual or anything, you see a clip that you want us to see it, man, tune in or send us a message, something, because we have a guest on, Kyle. He's on, and he's a boxer himself, man. He talks to me time after time, saying, hey, look, would you mind if I come on your show? Absolutely not. I do not mind you coming on the show. So if you know a friend who's a fighter or any kind of sort of thing, or you see a random fight outside the bar, send it to us. We want to see it. Or if you're a fighter, we want to talk to you. Whatever it is, man, come our way. We are totally interested in talking to you for anything. If you want to get yourself exposure, anything like that, man, send us an email or go to any of our social accounts and talk to us, man. We want to talk to you. So as we have our friend Kyle here. He lives in Windsor, Canada. He is training to be a boxer, and here he is. Kyle, how are you, pal?
Good morning, Kyle.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up?
How are you doing today, sir? Did you watch that fight, baby?
Oh, man, that was amazing. I was on the edge of my seat the whole entire time.
Yeah, man. Because me and Kyle were texting.
Be done right there.
Oh, for sure. We were texting back and forth during the fight the whole time, man. I'm very interested when people talk to me, man. I'm always reaching out back. Man, holy shit, was that a fight? Yo, Wilder is a one-dimensional fighter. Take it as you hear it. He's one-dimensional. He's a one-hitter, man. That right hand, he connects. As you can see, he downed him. He knocked.
I mean, he tried to switch it up a bit.
He did
try to throw some combinations. It wasn't benefiting him at all. I believe, at least in my opinion, Tyson Fury brought that weight to him, man. And I don't think Deontay. I don't think he was able to, contain that weight advantage,
See, Kyle, here's my thing, right? Do you think Fury put on all that weight on purpose to lay on Wilder like he did and gas him out? Because Wilder was gassed in the 6th or 7th round.
Oh,
he was
100%.
gassed.
And I feel like that's a part of his game plan, is to lean on people and get them tired. He's a big man.
Yeah. He's huge. I think that's another thing, is like that clinch game was part of the strategy. Tie him up, short little punches so he can't throw that bomb that Wilder has. I think Wilder has
100%.
that mentality. If I land this, I'm going to drop you, which he did to Fury twice in one round. He landed that bomb and was like, I got him.
It was looking a little sketchy there when he dropped Tyson 2 times in the 4th round.
It got scary. I thought that
was looking sketchy. Deontay Wilder, all credit to him, man. Look, you might say he's a one-dimensional fighter.
He is.
He's a fucking warrior, man.
Oh, no doubt.
He is a warrior.
Like he showed heart. And Kyle, for your training when you box, what do you see in Wilder that concerns you? Because you box.
My thing is, well, honestly, he's an amazing fighter. If he were fighting anybody other than Tyson Fury, they would have had a bad day against him. So honestly, I can't speak on that. Like he would have gave anybody else a problem. Tyson Fury is he's just a different animal. There's not one person in the boxing standings can touch him right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what it is. Is that Wilder is not used to someone being an all-around good fighter. There's someone that's just good at certain points, but Wilder's fighting Fury, who is by far the best boxer Wilder has ever fought in his life.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like we had the one comment, my dad said, I think we will see all the belts come together at some point. I agree. I think, see, that I don't want to jump on that topic right now, but like I still want to stay on the focus of the Tyson Fury fight, but we will get to the other
Absolutely.
stuff. But like, for instance, like when you see Wilder come out and he's throwing just body shots, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, he changed
his
up.
whole game plan.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was getting Fury frustrated, where Fury could not hit Wilder. He didn't hit him for I think the first 2 rounds, I believe.
Yeah, the first
He wasn't
round was
throwing
a
any
complete
punches.
wash.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
first rounds.
100%. So what do you think? What is, I guess not like what is next, but what did you see in that fight for Fury to just dominate Wilder in like 8, 9, and then 10 rounds? 8, 9, and 10 was all Fury. There's no question
for
about it. It was
sure.
all Fury. So what did you see?
Honestly, I feel like Wilder just punched himself out. He the first 4 or 5 rounds he was gassing himself out, and after that, Fury leaned on him and put that pressure on him, and there's nothing he could do after. He was just swinging for the fences, trying to land that one bomb, and Fury was ready for it. So
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Fury was ready for the bomb. And after a while, after he connected in the 4th round, Fury's like, shit, that bomb, that's all he's looking for.
yeah, he didn't want to get hit by it again for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, what do you think? Who do you think is next in Tyson Fury's
For,
path?
for Fury, honestly,
Fury.
I have no idea. I feel like they should give I think his name's Usyk, the guy that fought Joshua. I think they
Yeah.
might as well give him a shot. But other than that, I don't know who's up to par.
See, that's my thing, right? Is Joshua just announced that he wants his rematch clause.
Yes, he does.
He just initiated that he wanted his rematch against Unic or Usyk. I don't know, but hopefully,
Usyk.
I think it's Usyk, right?
Yeah.
So Usyk has to fight Joshua again, unless they pay Joshua out and say, "Hey, sit the sideline so we can unify the belts, and then you can go in that way." So
I
in
feel
that,
like
Joshua.
I feel like they should give Joshua a fight with Deontay Wilder.
I agree. I think
That
the
should
2
be
who
the-
lost should fight each other. 2 who won should fight each other. I think
Exactly.
that makes the most logical sense. No?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
I agree. Yeah,
So,
I mean,
who do you think would win? I'll ask Dave this question first. Who do you think is going to win, Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua?
that is a firefight that I am interested in. I think it's gonna be. See, you mentioned the rematch clause, and I don't think Anthony Joshua is gonna let that slide. He wants that rematch. He's
I
gonna
agree.
get that rematch, and he does well in rematches. He adapts. He
Right,
did
yeah.
it against Andy Ruiz,
Yep.
and he beat Andy Ruiz.
Yep.
I think he can do the same thing against Usyk. I definitely think he possibly could beat him if he changes his game plan. He's not going to allow the Tyson Fury to Usyk fight happen.
I don't think.
I don't think he's going to allow that because it's in the rematch clause and he has the ability to use it and he's already asking to use it.
Right.
So it's but if I had to say Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua, I'm going with Deontay Wilder. I believe Deontay Wilder will beat him, but that's the thing because Anthony Joshua is a more technical fighter than Deontay Wilder.
Yep.
And like you said, Deontay Wilder, he does try and put some combinations together, but that it's mainly that right hand, and
No, I totally agree.
I think Anthony Joshua will jab him up, piece him up, and I think I think it could be in Anthony Joshua's favor.
So what do you think, Kyle?
Yeah.
You think who you think would win, Joshua or Dante, if they had a fight? Each
I'm
other?
gonna have to say Deontay Wilder. Honestly, the last few fights Joshua has had, he's been pretty sloppy. He's been getting hit with huge bombs, and those guys that have beaten him are nowhere near the power of Wilder. So I'm
100%
gonna have to
agree.
go with Wilder. Joshua, he's been really sloppy lately. So unless he could tighten up his defense, I don't know.
See, my thing is Joshua loses to warm-up fights. He lost
Exactly,
to
yeah.
Anthony Ruiz, where it was a warm-up fight. He lost to Usyk, that was supposed to be a warm-up fight. He loses to warm-up fights. When it's time for competitive fighting, like real tough competitions, he trains his ass off. For whatever reason it is, that's what he does. So against Deontay Wilder showed he is one-dimensional, but let's not forget he had heart. He had the will to win. He didn't want to lose. He went out on his shield. Like, that is so much respect for Wilder. Like, no disrespect to Wilder at all.
For sure.
Dude, I think you showed so much heart last night. It was amazing to see. But against Joshua, I think Wilder's going to clean his clock. Like, seeing him fight Fury and seeing what he did, Fury's just a better boxer than both of them. I'm not going to deny it. But against Joshua, I think Joshua's going to have a long night. And he's going to probably take a nap. Guaranteed take a nap against Wilder.
See,
There's no denying it. I think Wilder will give him a nap.
he lost the signal. He's buffering.
It's all right. So another thing is, if they have to unify the titles, which I think they should, I think everyone wants to see them unify the titles, is Usyk fights Fury. I think that makes sense. But Dylan White is going to be fighting too.
Dylan White is the WBC #1 mandatory challenger.
Right. So I think Fury is going to fight White.
But
And then Usyk is going to fight Joshua just because of the clause.
But this is saying if Dylan White gets past Otto Wallen. Otto Wallen and him are scheduled to fight
Wait,
October.
who is it?
Otto Wallen
Is supposed to fight who?
is supposed to fight Dylan White October 30th. So Dylan White has a scheduled fight. He is the
Right.
WBC contender, and he is the mandatory challenger. So but he has to get past Otto Wallen, and that
I think
fight's
he
coming
will.
up.
I think he will. Like, I think Dylan White is just a better boxer.
Well, Otto Wallen's 22.
Right? And Dylan White is?
Dylan White is 28-2.
Right.
So I mean, there's the experience there, but also they're very close in their losses. I potentially think. See, Dylan's last loss was against Alexander Povetkin, and that was back in 2020. But then he rematched him once again
Right.
in March of this year,
Mm-hmm.
and then knocked him out. So Dylan White is in the talks, and see it throws it for a loop because Tyson Fury is on top of the world right now, greatest heavyweight currently that exists, and then you have Usyk, who is the WBO champion. Like I said, there's so many belts in here, so you
Right.
gotta.
And that's what I'm saying is like how Chuck Fettig just said is unify all the titles. Like, that is what everyone wants. There's too many goddamn belts in boxing. You want to unify all the titles. So Usyk should fight Fury. Let's forget the rematch clause that Joshua announced. Get them all together so we have one champ. And then if you want a belt, you need to fight the champ. No more of these
But
10, 20 different belts.
That's where boxing gets crazy because that's where all these mandatory challengers step in because you want to see that belt unified. You want them.
Right. You want to unify
the
all the
biggest
belts.
and you want the biggest and baddest to fight the biggest and baddest. You want
Bingo.
Deontay Wilder versus Usyk, so that they are able to unify them belts. But then you also you have Dylan White who's waiting, currently waiting. And look, if I know anything about the WBC and the WBO, the boxing organizations, they don't play, bro. When you have a challenger and you don't do that challenger, they can strip you.
Yeah, you lose everything.
It's-
See,
it's happened.
that's the biggest difference between boxing and UFC. Like, you can wait, I don't know, probably like a year or two, and they're like, oh, you'll have an interim belt until you're ready to go. No, boxing, like, yo, you not ready? You're stripped.
You're stripped.
You
bro.
lost your belt. I like that about boxing, how boxing does that. But, man, like, there is just so, like, that whole fight last night was just unreal.
It was unreal, man.
Like,
Like, it was unreal.
like, Taylor, what did you think of the fight? When you saw it last night, what did you think?
How is Wilder getting up? Like these 4 different times.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay. Like I don't really get how he kept on getting up. Like that doesn't seem like it's gonna be good
No.
long term at all. Like it should have been over after the first time he went down. No.
No, they give them
No.
3 chances. Well, they give you the 10 count. You know, they start counting up to 10. But
No, I meant like normally. Like
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, sometimes when you get hit with a big bomb like that, you're just done. You're like,
Like,
yeah, I'm good.
he had some shots after that, but he didn't look the same after the first.
no,
No.
He like Chris was saying, he was gassed around the 7th or 8th round, and
Yeah.
probably even before that. Like Diego was saying, Diego was chiming in saying after the 3rd round he looked
gassed.
He looked gassed, but that's not true
Yeah, I don't believe that. either.
because Tyson got dropped twice in the
fourth.
in the 4th round, and it was looking a little sketchy. Now I have the scorecards here, so Fury was ahead. Fury was ahead going into the 10th round. Like
yes,
he was.
he was down by 3 at one point in points because
Yeah.
of the 2 knockdowns because it went 10-7.
It was a 10-7 round, so it was very sketchy. But you know, while Wilder was dropped in the 3rd, Fury, used his 40-pound weight advantage. And he had 2 inches in height advantage, 2 inches in reach advantage, and he used that to slow down Wilder.
I think the thing is that Fury had a good strategy coming in. He says, I'm going to put on this much extra weight, and I'm going to lay on him. And I'm going to tie him up and beat him in the clinch work. And he did, effectively. It took a while. It worked. You just had to survive the bombs he's throwing
That's
at you.
bad.
And we have Kyle back.
You got you back.
And the thing is Fury used the weight to his advantage, which is an amazing strategy. Like, I don't think any boxer has put effectively a good game plan as Fury did to Wilder. He put on extra weight and laid on him and tired that big hand that he has out. So-
He used that clinch work, and that stopped Deontay from being able to extend his arms and get that right hand where he
couldn't
really
lay
needed.
the bomb.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And then when Wilder landed the bomb, Fury got jelly legs.
Yeah.
He got jelly legs in the
is.
4th, and then he's like, you know what? Fuck that. That ain't going to happen again. I'm going to bob and weave, hit him with a 2-piece, and clinch work him, and hit the body, short uppercuts, all that good stuff. And so,
Kyle's
Kyle,
back. You back, baby?
Kyle, I know you're tall, correct? You're 6'2", correct?
Nah, he's struggling over there with that Wi-Fi.
Kyle, can you hear us?
I'm like 6'1", 6'2", yeah. I like to say 6'3".
All right. I like to say I'm 5'9", too. But
Can you guys
I'm
hear
only
me?
5'7", Kyle. Yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
We can hear you, man.
So, for you being a longer boxer, right? What is like primarily your strategy? Are you trying to keep distance, or are you trying to get in nice and close when you box? What's your primary game plan?
I prefer to I'm like a counter striker, I'd say. I like to
Okay,
try
so
to get my
you wanna keep your
angles and
distance.
hit them with the straight after they miss a few times, and I'll pepper them with jabs.
Mm-hmm. So you're more of like keep your distance, like let him come in, let him try to swing and shit like that, and so you can jab him up, and then if he misses, you're gonna throw a straight bomb down. So you're most like Deontay Wilder, correct? Like that. I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
you are Deontay Wilder, but you like to do his game style. Okay.
How old are you, Kyle? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm kind of that strategy. I like to keep my distance.
So how old are you, Kyle? You are 29, 30?
30, turning 31 November.
Yep, there
Hey,
it is.
you train out of what gym? Do you train out of a gym?
It's called Bam Bam's Boxing Club and Hitman's Fitness and Arts.
Okay.
Ah.
We
And
have
it's
two
in
amazing coaches
Windsor.
there. Theo Tony, he's an outstanding martial artist. He's wrestler, MMA, all kinds of stuff. He's a complete ninja. He works with nunchucks, everything. Complete ninja, philosopher, best trainer ever. And our boxing coach Henry, amazing dude too. They're both awesome guys. They're both down to earth. It's awesome for beginners. Awesome for veterans. The best ever. We have a few studs in there that are actively fighting too. It's awesome in there.
And this is in Windsor, Canada, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So have you had any action? Have you had any fights? Do you consider yourself amateur?
I no, I haven't had any fights yet. I'm actually looking to book my first fight coming up within the next few months. But I've been training hard. A lot like it says, it's iron sharpens iron. There's a bunch of dogs in our gym, and we train hard. We spar hard. It's all fun.
Okay.
That's cool, man. I'm excited to see when you get your fight, man.
Yeah.
When you get it scheduled, holler back at us. Come back on here so we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm interested, man. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna have his fights videotaped, so he'll probably send me in a few things, and then we can talk about it when he goes and everything. Because I think he's pretty much gonna be booked, maybe in a couple months or so.
For
Yeah,
sure,
that's
for
cool.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, what else is with the
Yeah,
Tyson
we have
Fury?
I gotta get out of here. We have some sparring coming up soon, so
All right, bro. Yo,
I
just let me
will
know.
catch up with
Thank
you
you for
guys on the
chiming in, man.
next pod.
All right, bro. I'll
Thank you,
talk to you.
man. Be safe, man. Have a
Yeah,
good
thanks
day.
for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem, bro.
Enjoy beautiful Canada, man. So yeah, I mean, it was a slugfest, man. See, a lot of people were saying boxing is on, you know,
A downward
on
spiral.
death's door. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, you know, definitely boxing needs something more to deliver than just this fight. But I think this kind of rejuvenated boxing in a way.
I totally agree. I think that this fight helped boxing more than anybody else out there. Even that Jake Paul crap. The Tyson Fury versus Wilder 3 helped boxing by a mile. By a mile. That fight was crazy. I remember watching it with my dad last night, and we were both like, oh, it was back and forth.
Yeah.
It wasn't boring.
It was
Like,
not boring.
the first, minute of the fight, you're like, all right, let's go. Come on, let's go. After the first round, they were just tagging each other back and forth, action-packed fight. You're like, oh, because Wilder hit Fury, Fury would have jelly legs. Fury hits Wilder with a big bomb. He got wobbly. So you're like, holy shit, this fight is back and forth. And the thing that's so scary about Wilder is he has that power to change a fight in an instant. Because when he throws that big, this is it. But Fury had a chin. He had heart. He made Wilder a dosa. All that.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, they both had 2 knockdowns each, you know?
That was a good fight, man.
And coming into this fight, I was a little scared because I was a little worried, at least for Tyson Fury's sake, because during fight week, you know, he was pleading with Joe Biden to open the doors and let the British fans in.
Yeah.
Because there's a lockdown now currently in the UK. They're not really allowed to come over here. So Tyson was getting a little worried his fans weren't going to be able to come over. So he was, you know, pleading with Joe Biden. Unfortunately, it didn't work in his favor. So there were no British fans from British over, you know, in the T-Mobile Arena last night. So we didn't know how he was going to perform due to not having that crowd back up, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he did it successfully, you know?
He did a great job. They both did. Like I said, man, no disrespect to Wilder, man. He showed he had heart. He went out on his shield, like I said earlier in the show. Man, they're just 2 warriors going at it, and they both had the will to win. That's exactly what it is. It's just the better fighter won, obviously. But man, next fight for Wilder, I feel sorry for the next person. I think Wilder's gonna destroy the next person he fights.
Oh yeah, he definitely is. I mean, I think he's only going to get better from this loss. I believe. I don't think he's going to. He definitely had to take a step back. He definitely takes a step back. You're not going to get a fourth match out of this. I don't think so. I don't.
He has to win it back.
Yeah, I don't know, because it really cements that Tyson Fury, won both fights. The
last two.
The last two knockout, knocked him out. I don't see it. Yeah, I would watch that fight over and over. I was telling you last night.
Right.
I would pay to see that fight over and over and over again.
It's just such a good fight. I think it's the rivalries that really makes it a better fight, because they both don't like each other. Even in the post conference, where after the fight, Tyson Fury wanted to go up to Wilder, and Wilder's like, "Get away from me! I just don't like you, man.
Yeah.
I don't like you. Don't come up to me." And I respect that. If you guys don't like each other, don't step in my personal bubble. I understand that, and that's why you want to run it back again. I want to see that. See, that's another thing. Look, and whoever's watching, if you guys are watching this live or on a rerun or whatever how you watch it, would you see a fourth fight?
Would you pay for it? Would you be interested in
anything? Would you want to see it run back again? Like, if they had an option, say, hey, like, we're not gonna unify the titles. Joshua is calling back his rematch. He's fighting Usyk. If Wilder had to fight Tyson again, would you watch again? I say yes. Even though I want the titles to be unified, I still would watch it again because it was such a good fight.
Well, here's the thing. So you just mentioned, right, that you're okay with the fact that Deontay Wilder didn't want to shake hands or give him any respect. You're okay with that? That's bullshit. You know why?
Yes, I'm okay with it.
Because Tyson Fury sold that fight, bro. Tyson Fury, look, I get it. He talked a lot of crap. He talked a lot of smack. But also Deontay Wilder made a lot of bullshit claims, man. Made a lot of claims about him and how he stuffs his gloves. Made a lot of cheating accusations. He really said some stuff as well that wasn't very was not very business-like in a way. Yeah. So for him to sit there after the fight and not want to shake hands with Tyson Fury or, show any sort of respect, that's bullcrap. Because that goes to show you his character of a man. Because Tyson Fury single-handedly sold whatever pay-per-views they got. That was Tyson Fury, bro. Because Deontay Wilder really didn't want to even promote during fight week. Didn't want to do interviews. Did very short interviews. Didn't really want to talk. Didn't really want to discuss anything. He basically was just saying, "I'm gonna knock that fool out," And though I do have some respect for Deontay Wilder as a fighter, I don't think that was a smart move. I don't think it was.
Like, I'm on the both sides of the fence on that because, like, yeah, it's a fight or it's a business. You guys should, like, shake hands and, like, congratulate each other on a successful fight and how good of a fight. You guys made a lot of money, yeah. But there's another part of me is like, yo, I was just in a fist fight with you and you want me to fucking touch your hands after you knocked me out? What the hell? No, I don't want to touch you. Like, if you get in a fight with someone on the street, right, and you guys had a disagreement and you guys fought, and then that guy says, yo, I'm going to shake your hand, right? And then you guys are looking at the guy like, you beat my ass. Why the hell would I want to touch you? Like, I think maybe afterwards he might send a tweet out or a message like, yo, good fight. I respect you. But in the heat of the moment of a fight, it's hard for me to be on the side like, oh, that's a real asshole move when you just got your ass kicked and you want me to shake your hand? I don't think so. I don't think so.
They just spent, 80 minutes together in the ring between those three fights? Potentially. I don't know the accurate amount, but they spent a lot of time in that ring. They're both warriors, and I think at the end of the day, I think Tyson Fury deserved that respect.
No, I think that's what's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be like after a day or two, he might send a tweet out, "Yo, good fight. Like, I respect you. Good fight." But I think like in the heat of the moment, dude, it's kind of hard to even like go up to someone and and hug him and touch him after we've been through a brawl pretty much. Like
I just
like I said, I'm on two sides of the fence. I see both sides.
because Deontay Wilder made a lot of excuses the last fight, bro. A
course.
lot of excuses. He was complaining about the 45-pound costume that he was wearing to the ring.
Yeah.
He was complaining that Tyson Fury somehow cheated and he didn't deserve that victory. I think he even made some claims about his, like I was saying, his gloves and how he packs his gloves with less material so that it's more of a punch.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And the saying,
what excuse is Deontay Wilder going to give him now, man? Because he already came out and said,
No, there is no more.
No, he already came out last night and basically said, oh, yeah, Tyson Fury's weight was just too much. It was just too much for me.
But that's not I don't think he's saying an excuse. I think he's telling you the truth because I said it on our show today. The weight was a lot on Wilder, which it could be for anybody. He was 40-some pounds heavier than Wilder. So if he's laying on you, so you have 277 pounds laying on you, plus force, because obviously there's force involved because he's holding you, and you're trying to push off 277 pounds with his muscles. There's no way. He ain't going to move him.
No.
And I think that's what it is. It was a strategy from Fury to put on all this weight to tire his ass out, and it worked.
It worked, because I will give Deontay Wilder credit. Like I said, he did have his moments in that fight. He definitely had those moments, and he definitely had that heart.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't want to give in, didn't want to give up, still wanted to keep fighting. Looked exhausted, like we all said.
Looked
exhausted, and still kept going for it. And that right hand, even up until the 9th round, I was like, "Oh crap, man!" Like that.
I think it was the 10th is when he rocked him near the end.
Oh,
he
yeah.
hit him with a bomb. I was like, "Oh my god, he has some juice left." And that was it.
Well, the right hand is, no matter how tired he is, that right hand is
lethal.
It is still there. Will be there that whole fight.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an opportunity there was an opportunity to possibly clip Tyson Fury, but like I said, Tyson Fury played that clinch game. Didn't allow him to extend his arms and even get that proper shot, And it was working in the beginning of the fight. Deontay Wilder tried a different game plan, and it still didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to start hitting that body, and it wasn't effective.
Mm-hmm.
It was effective, but to an extent, because he did get Tyson Fury down twice, and Tyson Fury got up. But Tyson Fury also got up in the second round like the goddamn Undertaker. I don't know. When you seen that, I thought Tyson Fury was dead, bro, in the second fight, and he just got up in an L shape, ready to go. Like it was a fight for the memory, man. It was the best thing of this decade heavyweight fight
we've ever seen.
We've ever seen, because I wasn't.
Well, I was alive for Tyson.
I was alive for Tyson. I was young.
I was young. I still watched it. Like I remember going out with my dad, I believe to his friend's house, if I remember right, and watched some of the Tyson fights. And we were there all night for like 30 seconds for the main event, and it was over. It was over because that's all Tyson needed. It was like a minute or two, and he knocked everyone out. I was like, shit. Well, I was young as hell that time.
So does it stand up to, Muhammad Ali Frazier kind of fight? I mean,
Ali and Frazier was probably the greatest fight we'll ever see in our lives. Was it as good as that? No. Let's not be ridiculous. Was it a great fight? A great heavyweight fight that we've ever seen in over a decade? Absolutely.
Because it was by no means one-sided.
It wasn't. It was a back and forth. The way you would like to see heavyweights fight, back and forth. Any one of them could have won. And I think that's what makes heavyweights so much more enjoyable, is that anyone could win at any point. There's no deciding factor down the line where it's just lopsided. But that's what made it so exciting is that anyone could have won. They have that puncher's chance. They're both heavy boys, and it was just so exciting. I hope everyone enjoyed that fight. I'm pretty sure everyone enjoyed that fight. I know there's a lot of trash talking saying, "Oh, Fury this, oh Wilder this." Like, cut the shit, man. It was a great fight. We all enjoyed it. Like, it's just a great fight to see. Like, Devereaux Sports says, I don't think this fight will ever live up to Ali and Frazier. I agree. This ain't Apollo and Rocky. No, it's not Apollo. It's not fiction, you goofball.
I agree with you, Dennis.
No, I agree, Dennis. Yeah.
I don't think this fight can match an Ali or Frazier at all.
Correct. I don't think so either. I don't think any fight will ever measure up to Ali and Frazier. They're both the greatest heavyweights that we've seen. One was a technical boxer and with just finesse and speed. The other one was power, and just two great fighters at their peak of their time, and that's why that fight will lay down in history as the greatest fight we've ever seen.
Yeah, Now I want to ask you a question, Chris, because we kind of got into it when Kyle was on the podcast, but we didn't really, cement any potential predictions on what could happen.
Right.
So, Tyson Fury, you said, should probably fight Alexander Usyk, right?
Yes, the unified titles.
Who, if they were potentially going to fight and it becomes
fruition,
who do you think's going to win that fight?
I think Tyson Fury is going to knock that kid's block off.
Does that cement him, like I said on Wednesday, as the greatest heavyweight champion of this era? Not. Let's not go back to the old days.
This era?
Yeah. Or does he already have that?
I don't know. Klitschko was a beast, man, in his prime. Klitschko was a beast.
Yeah, Vladimir Klitschko was. Yeah. I'll give you that.
So I would say
he was a long reigning champion.
I think it would have. Oh, shit, man, that's tough. I think Tyson Fury would have to defend unify all the titles, and defend it a few times, and then we can talk about that. Because Klitschko, man, people overlook Klitschko, man. People forget about Klitschko, and he was a boss, man. He was a bad dude in his prime. He was a bad dude. So that's what I think. What's your thoughts on it?
I think Tyson Fury, in my opinion, is going to win if he possibly fights Alexander Usyk. If he fights Anthony Joshua, I think he will win. Mm-hmm. If he fights Deontay Wilder again, he's gonna win. I think Tyson Fury is on the path to stay undefeated his whole career, man. I don't see anybody beating him because I'll bring up the WBC heavyweight rankings. So you've got Joseph Parker. He fights, I think, later this year. He's 29-2. You got Andy Ruiz Jr., who's kind of sitting in the background, like, yo, bro, I beat Anthony Joshua, but I also just recently lost Anthony Joshua. But I'm still in the picture. Then you have Frank Sanchez, who was on the undercard.
Yeah.
All these heavyweights that were on the undercard. Yeah. They were undefeated. They
all look good too.
So Frank Sanchez is sitting there 19-0, going, hey man, what about me? You've got Dylan White. You've got Luis Ortiz. You've got Michael Hunter. All these fighters in the WBC waiting in the rankings, waiting in the cups of possibly getting their name up there to fight somebody like Tyson Fury.
Like Pat just said, is this one of the greatest rivalries in sports? It is one of the best rivalries we have in boxing.
Yes, I agree.
I think it's the best rivalry we have in boxing, other than Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson's rivalry. I think this is probably one of the best rivalries we've ever seen to date for a long time. For a very long time.
Oh, yeah, they talked a lot of trash. They were really getting personal. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, yes, it is one of the greatest rivalries in boxing.
Right now.
Boxing right now. Yeah. I don't see any fights coming up that will stand up to that kind of rivalry,
Because right now, Fury announced that he's taking a little mini vacation.
As he deserves.
Right,
Yeah.
so
he got
I
through COVID. He got through his baby having some birthing issues, and,
Right.
and thank God she's doing well now.
Yeah.
So I mean, he deserves it. There was a lot of issues coming into this fight. And like I said, this was supposed to happen back in July, and
I'm glad it waited because it lived up to expectations. Like everyone was like, "Oh my, is it gonna be one-sided? Fury's gonna get knocked out by Wilder's right hand," and then everyone was like, "Oh no, Fury's gonna just trash him." To be honest, I don't think anyone trashed anyone in that fight. I think it was a back and forth fight until Wilder could not throw any good haymakers anymore, and Fury capitalized on that and knocked him out. But like back to the topic that we were saying is, I really believe Fury is gonna fight Dylan White. Wilder is gonna wait. He's gonna be on the sideline waiting. I don't think he's gonna fight anyone. And I think Joshua will fight Usyk. Winner of Joshua and Usyk will fight the winner of White and Fury. And then that's the path we would go.
See, this is where my opinion differs. I'm gonna go with Tyson Fury fighting Dylan White, and then I'm pretty sure they're going to rematch Anthony and Joshua and Usyk. I'm pretty.
Well, yeah, because the clause.
That clause is not going anywhere, and I'll be damned if Anthony Joshua is going to allow Usyk to go fight Tyson Fury right off the jump. No, it's not. It's not going to happen.
So I want to get into the snooze fest of the UFC fight card. Last night.
So I mean, we might as well. We're going to lose some viewers.
I'm not going to get in the whole card.
No.
Just say the main event.
No.
That's it.
No, so we have Mackenzie Dern. She fought Marina Rodriguez, and I'll give Marina Rodriguez, she put up a good fight to get that victory. Mackenzie Dern was all over her, trying to attempt submissions and like crazy. Her ground game is insane. So Marina Rodriguez overcame a lot of adversity in that fight to get that victory. Now she's on a 3-fight winning streak this year.
Yep.
She's won 3 fights in a row this year, and she's on the cusp of possibly becoming a
contender.
A contender in the flyweight division.
Yeah, it'll just come in
Or no.
time.
Yeah, and no, I think she's in the I think she's in the flyweight division.
Yeah.
So maybe
she's a lightweight, real lightweight.
Well,
I think she's like 115, I believe she is.
yeah. So that's strawweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
So yeah, she's strawweight. So, and with Rose Namajunas, fighting Willie Zhang
again
next month.
Yeah.
So she's on the cusp of possibly becoming, a contender. In that division. But it was a snooze fest. These fights are a snooze fest. UFC, you got to give us more. And they are giving us more.
I think the thing is why it was a snooze fest, because they had nothing to go against the Tyson Fury fight. They were going to get smoked. And that's why they came on earlier, so they can bypass that fight.
Yeah.
But still, they couldn't keep up with that fucking
Dana played
fight.
it smart. He was like, oh, yeah, that fight's on? We're going to go earlier. We're going to avoid going head-to-head with that boxing card.
So do you want to talk about the most stacked card we've ever seen in a long time?
I want to talk about the most stacked card coming up. It is an early Christmas present. I don't want to get too much into it because it's so far away and anything can happen. People could pull out, and we still have 2 more pay-per-views.
That's true.
2-ish pay-per-views, because October is a free pay-per-view, if you're an ESPN subscriber.
Right.
So we got broken, like I was saying on Wednesday, we got Dustin Poirier, breaking news, Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira for the lightweight championship. So we'll find out who's going to be the lightweight champion to go into 2022. And then we've got Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Penne.
Yep.
That is the bantamweight championship. And then we have Brandon Morano.
Figueroa.
Brandon Morano versus Davison Figueiredo.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the flyweight championship. No. Yeah, that's the flyweight championship. And then we have Cody Garbrandt on that card, Dominic Cruz on that card, Sugar Sean O'Malley on that card. That card is looking stacked, baby. It is an early Christmas present. Take my money.
I'm telling you, that card is gonna be bank.
It is going to be a bank. Yeah.
I cannot wait for that fight. That is the time where we will be at Miller's Owl House watching that card live.
But don't sleep, brother, on the November 6th card. Don't sleep on the November 6th card. Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler, Kamaru Usman, versus Colby Covington.
Yeah.
Rose Namajunas.
That's the what card?
That's the Madison Square Garden card.
Yeah, the one that's coming up.
That's November 6th.
Right.
And then before that, you have the Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira card.
Right.
And that's October 30th. And then you have you have who else is on that? But like I said, oh yeah, you have the Peter Yan versus
Oh.
It's
not Sterling.
Oh, no. Sterling pulled out yet again, baby. He's milking that championship. I don't understand why he's milking that championship, but he is. And Corey Sandhagen is stepping in, baby.
Yeah.
He's stepping in. I'm interested in that fight. You also have Dan Hooker, who decided to step in.
Yeah, fight Makachev.
He's not going to be able to go home at all this year for
No.
stepping into that fight. I give him 100% credit for doing that.
That's because he loves his craft.
Yeah,
He loves the fight.
and because of the lockdown where he lives,
Yep.
They're not allowing him to go back home after this fight.
Yeah.
So he's stuck around to step in. Rafael Dos Santos pulled out.
Yeah, I think he's washed, man. Dos
Who?
Anjos.
Dos Santos,
He's washed. Like, he can't stay healthy, man. He doesn't want to fight. He said, yeah, I'm gonna fight. Oh no, some issue came up. Man, you don't want to fight, man. Come on.
It's either he didn't want to fight or he knew Islam Makhachev is no joke, baby.
He's no joke.
He's no joke. And he was like, I'm going to lose. I might as well just pull out, Like, it is what it is. We've got a heck of a lot of fight cards coming up, man. But these snooze fests, like we have Aspen Ladd stepping in next week. She's stepping in because Miesha Tate pulled out because she got COVID, so that fight got canceled for next week.
Yep.
So now that's moved to November 20th. So Miesha Tate will be fighting in November 20th.
Yep.
And Aspen Ladd steps in to featherweight, where I think she belongs. I've thought
100%. Aspen Ladd tries to cut too much weight, and now she's gonna pretty much be almost at her natural weight, so she'll be more comfortable, I believe.
she's fighting Norma Dumont, who's 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
So they both have only one loss on their record.
Yep.
I don't know where Aspen Ladd will stand in the featherweight division. These chicks are big, I mean, I feel like she almost makes the 135-pound limit, but then she struggles to make the 135-pound limit. But I think these chicks at 145 may be too big for her. When you're looking at, these bigger girls, and Aspen Ladd doesn't really fit that image,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, this is all my opinion because anything could change, next week, and she could prove me wrong. She could go into this fight and look phenomenal. But she still ain't beating Amanda Nunes,
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Get out of here. There's
We
nobody
don't
beating.
know
There's
that,
nobody beating Amanda Nunes, bro.
We don't know that. They have never fought before.
See, everybody.
We don't know.
Look. Every girl, every woman who's in the UFC that is scheduled to fight Amanda Nunes comes in with the biggest game plan. Oh, I'm gonna put some combinations together, and I'm gonna close that distance, and I'm gonna try and knock her out. And then they get hit by Amanda Nunes, and they go, where did that truck come from? I just got hit by a Mack truck, baby.
I don't think Kat Zingano has said that ever.
Yeah, Kat Zingano's not looking so hot anymore, though,
Yeah, well, she's on her couch laying down.
Yeah, she needs to. I think she's done.
She's done.
I
Yeah,
think
she
she's done.
retired. But I'm just saying, like, Kat Zingano beat the brakes off of Amanda Nunes. Beat the brakes off her. She didn't stand a chance against Kat
Yeah,
Zingano.
so, I mean, it's an early Christmas present for me, man. I am so happy. And then in January, you have Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane because
Yeah.
John Jones wants to decide to,
Go on a bender.
To go on a bender and unfortunately create some more havoc in his life. Now he gets stepped over, and now Cyril Gane gets to go in against Francis Ngannou. And then we also have on that January. See, these next 3 pay-per-views are fire, man.
They are good.
October 30th is a good card. But November, December, and now January, we have Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane, and then we have Israel Adesanya fighting on that card as well.
Yeah. Dude, that whole card's gonna be crazy, man. Like, I can't wait to be watching some good fights from the UFC, man. They gotta keep up with boxing now because boxing has some fire fights coming up. I'm telling you, with these heavyweights, man. This heavyweight contention pretty much just took over. Like, the 4 main guys on top of boxing right now just took over right now for boxing. No one gives a shit about the lower weight classes for boxing. There's nobody really standing out as right now as the heavyweights are. And that's what I'm saying is these heavyweight boxers right now just took over the show for boxing. Because everyone's like, oh, you're going to unify the titles. You're going to fight Usyk. Wait, no. Usyk's going to fight Joshua. No, wait. They're going to fight this person. They're going to fight... Those heavyweights just put on a show last night and said, yo, we're still kings for fighting right now. We're kings. And I think that's what it is now is yeah, UFC has all these great cards coming up, but so does boxing, man. If you're not excited to see what's the outcome with Fury, Usyk, Joshua, Wilder, Dylan White, all these guys on the contention card right now, you're absolutely insane. Then you don't like the fight game. If you're not excited to see these boxers fight each other, you're absolutely crazy.
The heavyweights are always going to be a big draw in boxing. They're always going to bring a crowd. And when you're speaking with names like Tyson Fury, who is named after Mike Tyson,
So awesome.
And then Deontay Wilder, who came up as the Browns bomber, and he came out with all these knockouts. He has 41 knockouts on his record.
With 42 wins, that means 98% of your wins are by laying kids out.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
So I mean, it brings a lot of life into boxing,
Sure does.
But I don't think any of these fights, I don't see Deontay Wilder fighting again this year. I don't see Anthony Joshua fighting this year. They're gonna try and make.
No, they're gonna wait till 2022.
Yeah, they're gonna wait till 2022. So I think you have Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant coming up on the same card as UFC.
Yeah, I'm excited for that fight. Actually,
I'm excited for that fight as
I'm
well.
really excited.
And then you have Terrence Crawford or Sean Porter.
Is that on the same card?
No, that's in November as well. I'll have to get an accurate date on that, but I think that's in later November.
Right, I believe so. Yeah. Well, the Canelo Alvarez versus Plant, man, that's gonna be a brawl. I really feel that's gonna be a brawl. I think that's gonna be a late fight too. I think it's gonna be 10, 11 rounds, maybe decision. I think that's gonna be an absolute brawl.
You don't see no knockouts in that. You don't see?
No, on our last podcast, if anyone wants to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. I predicted that Fury was going to beat Wilder in the 11th round by a KO. I said he's probably going to win 10 or 11 round for the KO.
You were closer. I was in the 6. I was a little bold with my prediction. I was like,
6. You said 6. I remember.
But hey,
6.
there was a lot of freaking knockdowns before the 6th round, so it was getting sketchy, man. I was like, oh crap. Maybe Tyson's going to lose. My prediction's going to go out the window because I did predict Tyson Fury. I love Deontay Wilder, though. I love rooting for the Americans as much as I love, rooting for the United Kingdom fighters as well.
Oh, here's a good question, right? Before we run out of time. Who thinks the best British fighter in heavyweight?
Oh, it's definitely Tyson Fury.
You think? I think Lennox Lewis. I think Lennox Lewis
is
way better than Fury.
Of all time.
Lennox the best
Lewis.
British
Lennox
fighter
Lewis.
we've seen, or UK fighter we've ever seen in heavyweight. Who do you think it was?
It was Lennox Lewis.
I
and
totally
he was
agree.
there last night, man.
Sure
He was on commentary, man.
I think Lennox Lewis was a monster. I mean, a monster. He's big. He was. I don't think he was as agile as Fury is, but he was just more of a counter. let me push the pace. I'm aggressive. I like to throw bombs too. I think Lennox Lewis is probably the best UK fighter in boxing we've ever seen. But Fury's up there, man. Fury, man, he can make a name for him. He already has a good name. That's like I twist it. But like he can make a better resume than Lennox Lewis if he keeps going the route he's going.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Lennox Lewis is a beast, and I believe Lennox Lewis was also at some point training Deontay Wilder. You know,
He could have been.
yeah, they were showing highlights on it in the pay-per-view, like that he was trying to show Deontay Wilder how to put some combinations. A lot of things went on during that fight and before that fight. Like Deontay Wilder changed his camps, didn't really agree with his cornerman throwing in the towel last year.
Yeah, he fired him.
Yeah, fired him. Changed his whole camps. Tried to put some combinations together in last night's fight, and it didn't really work. He just couldn't. He just couldn't succeed last night, man. It wasn't in his favor. Tyson Fury took it to him, man. And it was a great fight. This was a great podcast. We're getting to the end of the show.
Yeah. So if you guys like the show or anything, just subscribe on our YouTube channel. It would mean a lot. Or follow us on any kind of social platform that you find us on. We're on a lot, actually. That'd be awesome. We appreciate all the support and love that you guys show us and messages us and sends out comments or whatever the case is, man. We really do appreciate it. So
all the comments we always appreciate. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify. If you just want to listen to us at work, we're on YouTube. Please subscribe. Hit the like. Hit the bell so you're notified every time we go live. And we're live Wednesdays at 6, Sundays at 10. We will be here this Wednesday
at
6 p.m. Don't miss it. And give some love to our fellow podcasters. We got the Gobbler Inc. We got the Breakfast and Body Slams. We got the Sullivan Squad. We got the Scrapple Boys who are kind of on hiatus right now, but they'll be back with vengeance. And
the old school show.
The old school show. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
on Mondays.
No, Tuesdays.
Sully Squad's at 6 p.m.
Yeah, Sullivan's on Monday, baby. And then Breakfast and Body Slams, they got a lot of pop-up shows that pop up on Facebook, but they're also live Thursdays, 9:05. You can find them. And we show them mad love. We are a family, and that's how we do it, baby. For me, for Chris, for Taylor, for the whole Dead Row Sports family, it's been real, y'all. Go Eagles, because that's who we root down here in Philadelphia. Have a good